Hey, what's up everybody? Today is another carving day. So, I just wanted to ooh, that's bright. I just wanted to kind of show you guys the process a little bit from start to finish. So this is what we got. For this project, I'm gonna be carving an elk shed for the Hatleys up in Oregon. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so I'm excited to take you along on the journey. Here we go. This is the elk shed that they sent to me. Nice big pretty brown left side. I always like the left side because when I do words, I like it to go from a high point down to a low point. It just feels more natural and flows better that way. The first thing what we're gonna do is sand down this area through here, turn it white so that I can have a nice white canvas to work on, do my drawing and all the mapping out. And then after I've carved it all in, that's when I go through and add the color back. And that looks really cool. So here we go. Alright, so here are some of the tools I'm going to use. We've got sander, and we've got that beast right there. That thing I've never used before, and I'm hoping it works good. I might find a piece of an elk antler to try it on first before I just get into it, but I'm just trying to figure out how to be more effective and fast in preparing that canvas, because when I just use straight sandpaper on that elk antler, it kind of takes a little while. So if I can figure out a faster way to do it, that would be a really good thing. Using that beast right there, I was able to kind of just go through and give that a nice white area. And I'm going to sand that down so that it'll look a lot better. Next step, sanding. Alright, so got it all sanded. Looks awesome. Nice and white and smooth and pretty. The grinder left a lot of those little scratchy score marks on it, and so I sanded it. Oh, there's a little bit you can see right there. Anyways, sanded most of that away, so it looks really good. Ready to go in there with a pencil and go to town, start drawing it all up and getting it designed. So now's when it starts coming to life and it gets really fun. Alright, I got this elk shed all mapped out. It's ready to start cutting. And as you saw by the time lapse, it's going to be a fun one. Check this out. Things are going good, but it is time for a break. I'm about, I don't know, 4 to 5 hours into this project so far, between conception and preparing, making the canvas, grinding on the horn, sanding it, and now getting it all mapped out. So the first step, the first chunk of the actual cutting is done. So I'll give you a look. Okay, here we go. That big mule there is looking pretty bad, eh? Some pine trees will go in the background. Big bull elk. And then Hatleys. An elk shed laying on the ground and some more pine trees in the background. So Coming along awesome. As soon as my wrist and my hand recover a little bit, I'll get back to cutting. So, I'm all done cutting. It's a good feeling. My hand, not so good feeling. Anyways, it's a lot of work. And sometimes I ask myself, is it really worth it? But then when I give them to somebody and just see their reaction and how happy they are, that's when it's worth it. Anyways, I got the elk shed for the Hatleys all carved up. It's all done. It's all bright white and pretty, but the detail's all there and it's ready for color. But before I got out the airbrush and started painting and throwing color on it, I thought I'd give you a quick look. So, here we go. Got the detail all carved in. This big mule deer. Pine trees in the background. This big old bull elk. Kind of a freak, he's so big. And then Hatley's, their last name. And then they requested a nice big elk shed on the ground somewhere incorporated into the antler, so they got it. Anyways, it turned out really cool and I'm super excited to get color on it because that's when everything really just comes to life. So thanks Dean Hatley, appreciate you letting me carve up this elk antler for you. I think you're gonna love it. All right, I got everything all colored. Turned out really cool, but I want the contrast. So my next step is to sand it up, and that's what'll make it look awesome. I'll go grab my sander and be right back. All right, I'm gonna try and get this sanded from the backside so that I don't block the view of the camera. But I just used my little Makita hand sander, and then I've got some nice fine sandpaper on here because I don't want to scratch it. Like that, and that just brings out all that contrast and just makes it look really good. And then I'll actually go touch it up just a tiny bit more with my hand piece, and then it'll be all finished. So thanks for following along. Alrighty, so all done sanding. Makes everything look pretty sweet. The pine trees, big bull elk, Hatley's, a nice looking elk shed, and then some more of those trees. So I'll go touch up a few spots and then I'll be done. All right, I'm back. I got the color all applied, and as you just saw outside on my driveway, I got it all sanded with my little sander. There's a few spots that I'm gonna go in with my handpiece and just touch up and make look just a little bit better. Just the little low points that I still want to get that bright white color, but I can't reach with that big wide surface of the sander. So I'm gonna go in with a little tiny carbide burr where I can do a little bit more of the detail work. So I'll give you a quick look at it. Turned out pretty cool. Like see right there on that T, a little bit of color there that I'll take off. That's an example. Up in here, a couple other spots like that. A little bit up here on the sword of the elk shed. And then it'll be all done. And it's been a fun project to complete. So that's it. All right, last thing I do before I'm all finished is I usually try to step away for a few hours and then come back to it, and then I look at it and I look for things that maybe I could improve on. And the first thing that jumped out at me was just that mule deer are not white. Bull elk are not white. They do have some color, and of course, since the bone is what I'm using as my medium to create this piece, I realized I needed to come in and just put a little bit of paint. So right here you can see I put just a little bit of paint in here around on that mule deer to give him more of that, just a little bit more of that gray look. And then that nice white face, the dark of his forehead, on his cape, the white, the double patch. Just made it look a lot better. So I did that, and then on the bull elk also, they're not white. So I went in, darkened his mane under his neck, gave him a little bit more color on his body as well as on his antlers. And then just to give the contrast, I cleared some of that color away here, lightened it just a tiny bit, just to give it a little bit more depth and look better. So I think that was well worth it. Did just a little bit on that shed elk antler as well. Anyways, I'm all finished. So that's how it all came together.